I know. You're probably wondering what's going on. Well, I'm here to tell you. It's me, Inked. And I need you guys to head on over to AJsRANTroom.com and pick up your Trifecta merch. Yes, that's right. Trifecta merch is here. It is here for our Trifecta family to show their love and support and advertise for free. Well, not technically for free. You did pay for it. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Head on over to AJsRANTroom.com and pick up your Trifecta merch. We're all inclusive. If Prince can wear it, so can you. Have a good one.
It's always lit over at AJsRANTroom.com. We got the best bags and accessories, our beloved Black Series. We got fresh lids for you hat lovers, fire jackets and hoodies, and of course we got you covered on the t-shirts. And introducing our first shoe line, Aloysius Germain. So get on over to AJsRANTroom.com today and get to shopping. You won't be disappointed.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you. Apparently Apple's doing a whole situation. So notes aren't updating, texts aren't sending, things are just not thinking right now. And so we had to shift some stuff to get the show ready. Ordinarily, we'd be on time. But thank you for your patience. Welcome to another fire episode of the RANT Experience tonight. We're coming in hot with a lineup that's guaranteed to make you think, laugh, and of course, make you a little uncomfortable. In our politics fix, we're unpacking Trump's one big, beautiful bill. Love it or hate it. This one's got people triggered on all sides. Then we're diving headfirst into an uncomfortable conversation about how every tragic event in this country somehow gets politicized and racialized. I called it something else, but I told myself I have to ease up on the cursing, so I'm trying here. For our Turntable Rewind, we're taking it back to 2010, arguably one of the most underrated years in music, culture, and vibes, besides OMG by Usher. And you already know we're paying tribute to the Prince of Darkness himself, the legendary Ozzy Osbourne. Plus, we have a hilarious Leave Me Alone segment, of course, and an inspiration point that is unpacking some tough love that some of you government needy kahutas need. So lock in, get ready. All that and more coming up on the RANT Experience.
Thank you for tuning into the RANT Experience. This episode is brought to you by our official merch store, AJsRANTroom.com. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you get new uploads and live streams hot off the presses. We drop a new episode of the RANT Experience every Monday, and now it's time for a politics fix.
You ever notice how every time a Republican takes office, the Democrats start acting like it's the end of the world? I mean, the minute we cut taxes or trim the budget, they start screaming that the sky is falling. Now, don't get me wrong, I admire their consistency. If the stock market surges, they say it's just helping the rich. And if it crashes, they say, yep, that's what happens under Republican leadership. And don't even get me started on foreign policy. A Republican president could be shaking hands with world leaders and signing peace deals, and they'd say, it must be appeasement. But the minute there's tension overseas, they rush to the nearest camera like it's Black Friday saying, see, we told you the world would catch fire if he was in charge. Now, I've always said, it's fine to disagree on policy. That's democracy. But if your best shot at winning is hoping the American people lose, well, maybe you're in the wrong country.
Woo! Ho, ho, ho. That is the icon, the legend, one of the greatest presidents in American history. Fight your mama, Ronald Reagan, making it clear that what's happening to Donald Trump, which is it's on steroids, but it's not new. It's not new. It's always been. Every time a Republican's in charge, the world is going to end. Life is lifing. Life is over. Oh my God, we can't fix it. We have no idea. Oh my God, World War III. Oh my God, it's a catastrophe. Oh my God, black people. Oh my God, gay people. Oh my God. Everything is a tragedy when a Republican's in charge. Everything. Everything is a tragedy when a Republican's in charge. But for some reason, when Democrats are in charge, nobody's outraged. Yeah, we're critiquing them. Yeah, we're pointing out how stupid some of their policies are. But we're not saying the world's going to end because of it. And so, in the spirit of that, let's talk about one of the greatest pieces of legislation in modern politics, the one big, beautiful bill. Now, folks, we have a lot to unpack here. So it might be a little long-winded. And for you folks out here who don't care for long-winded, get over yourself. So here we go. Apple did its job. Yay. Now let's go back to the top. There we go. All right. Is the one big beautiful bill perfect? No. But don't let these clowns on the left fool you. It ain't like the world is coming to an end as they're screaming and yelling, and AOC is crying in front of the cameras. And every time you host a live stream with a MAGA hat on, they're telling you how 20 million people are going to lose Medicaid, and rural hospitals are going to close, and all the typical scare tactics that these people pull. And then when it doesn't happen, they just monkey bar to the next outrage. That's pretty much how it is. So this bill fixes a lot of the trash in our tax code, strengthens what was already solid, and even drops a few bold moves nobody saw coming. There's a few things I didn't see coming that I was like, that makes sense. This is a very Trump thing. This is Trump's signature. This is bold, unapologetic, America first. No cash flow into Ukraine, no bank rolling for proxy wars overseas. This bill keeps every dollar and focus right here where it belongs, on us. Who knew thunk we would have a 1,000-page bill and there's no money going somewhere that ain't got nothing to do with us? And I already know the left's out there with their scare tactics and fake outrage, but we're not going to fear today. We're going to do facts. So buckle up, because we're about to tear through the noise and call it out how it is. Are 40 million people getting kicked off Medicare? No. Oh, wait. Is it Medicaid or Medicare? Medicaid. Are 40 million people getting kicked off Medicaid? No. Medicaid isn't being gutted. It's called a scare tactic, y'all. It's called we should have did this, but we didn't. We want to run on the issue. We don't want to actually solve the issue. That's what Democrats do a lot. Illegal aliens are being cut off. And there are other provisions, like if you own a home valued at $1 million, why the hell do you need Medicaid? If you have a home worth more than $1 million, why do you need government subsidized health insurance? Okay, get on out of here. I'm renting a room. Okay. Oh my God. Listen, you're going to have to give a little to keep your coverage. Work, volunteer, go to school for at least 20 hours a week. But let's be clear, there are no changes for pregnant women, seniors, the disabled, and low-income families. Operative word, families. So if you're an able-bodied adult with no children, 18 to 65, you're going to have to give 20 hours a week to the workforce. I mean, I think that's fair. If you're able-bodied, we understand you might need health insurance, but if you're able-bodied, you can give 20 hours in the form of volunteer work, in the form of a part-time job, in the form of volunteering. No, oh yeah, too much. I know. Anyway, let's be clear. This bill will lower tax rates, increase deductions, create several incentives that will allow many of us to reduce our taxes. Medicare was never in danger. The only issue with Medicare that Democrats have, because they love illegal immigrants all of a sudden Democrats are pro illegal immigration. They're mad that their essays are being stripped from Medicaid. And I don't know why you would be mad at that, but we'll get into that more later. But let's talk about some of the positives, a lot of positives in this bill. First being the permanent decrease to individual tax rates. Now, this is the most expensive part of the bill. This will reduce government stealing our money by $2.1 trillion over the next 10 years. That's a lot of money, you know. And basically, if you think about what he's trying to do with tariffs, that will be more than made up. So people are not factoring that in because they're not used to people actually creating solutions for things. They're just used to people messing things up, right? Because Joe Biden was so great that he was reelected, right? So the 39.6% tax rate will now be 37%. The 25% tax rate will now be 22%, and the 15% individual tax rate will now be 12%. These were the 27 tax cuts that were due to expire at the end of the year, but now they are permanent. We ain't going nowhere. I know Diddy's canceled, but that's a good song. Here's another thing you might like: a permanent increase to the standard deduction. I'm telling y'all better get y'all some CPAs. They gonna hook y'all up next year. Over 90% of taxpayers claim this. So the standard deduction in pre-2017 was $6,350. It will now be permanently $15,000. Y'all gonna be rolling, especially if you actually go to work and make your money. The standard deduction for married couples was $12,700 pre-2017. It will now be $30,000. Taxpayers are about to save a minimum of 1.2 trillion over the next decade. These temporary, and then there are some temporary upgrades of itemized deductions. There's a temporary increase on the SALT tax, so that's basically you can write off your state taxes, from $10,000 to $40,000. This will increase. This increase will be effective 2025 to 2029. Obviously, so you'll hear boneheads say that, well, it's not permanent. This stuff isn't permanent. You don't want to make everything permanent because you have to reconsider things after a certain amount of years, right? So if you make everything permanent and then it's not working, then you got to go through hell and high water to get it revised. So why not just reconsider things and just make amendments as you go along? Well, people don't think like that. They think everything is all or nothing. It's all or nothing. If I don't get everything I want, then it's no, oh my God, I can't think about it. So the temporary increase for the SALT tax, wait, I did that. So now the itemized deduction will be more beneficial to the American taxpayer. Another thing that many of us who make under $100,000 and are single, or $200,000 if you're married, is temporary car loan interest deduction on newly purchased American-made cars. If you're single and making under 100K, or married making under 200K, then you can take advantage. Benefits the lower tax bracket. Remember, all the money was going to the rich, right? All the money, all the breaks were going to the rich people. Oh man, you can write off up to $10,000 on qualifying cars for the end until the end of calendar year 2028, and of course it'll be reconsidered. And if it works, they'll extend it. If it doesn't, they'll remix it. There's a permanent increase to the child tax credit. Once again, get you a good CPA. They gonna hook you up. A senior tax deduction. So this is kind of cool because remember he said he was going to do no tax on Social Security, but he didn't. That didn't make the bill, but he did hook y'all up. So senior tax deduction for citizens over the age of 65, $6,000 for each qualifying individual. This almost doubles what it was last year. So seniors, you got to hook up. You got to hook up, get you a good CPA, work it out. Now let's unpack no tax on overtime. Single taxpayers can take up to $12,500 in deductions against their overtime wages, and married individuals up to $25,000. I'm sorry. The majority of people who work tip jobs, are they rich? Are these the millionaires? Is this the person in the corner office telling the Lyft driver what he's supposed to be doing on the road when that person in the office ain't even part of the situation? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So yeah, this is definitely benefiting the middle class and the working class. And so this stupid idea that this bill is so handed for the rich, but we're gonna talk about the rich a little bit, just a smidge in a bit. But no tax on tips. Let's talk about that. So single taxpayers making up to $150,000 and married taxpayers making up to $300,000 can deduct up to $25,000 in tips. I'm sorry, is that benefiting the millionaires? Are the millionaires getting a cut? Oh, I don't know. Maybe something's happening. I don't know. But to all my people in the hospitality industry, the personal care industry, transportation, and select creative and retail service industries, y'all gonna be smiling on y'all returns next year. I don't know how Democrats get elected after this. But now here's another talking point that the left loves to bring up. They love this because all of a sudden they care about the rural areas of this country, the flyover country. They all of a sudden they love it. Rural hospitals. If you actually read the bill, you would know that Trump is actually protecting rural hospitals. We're expanding that. Right. So the money they're saving by cutting illegals off Medicare and Medicaid is actually going to be invested back into the rural hospitals. America first. This also includes funds of Medicaid patients who are dead. These many hospitals all over the country, rural, urban, suburban, whatever, got dead people on their roster and collected a little bit of money off of them. So that's over. Now, for all the people out there who frown at people who have who say go learn a trade, go learn carpentry, go learn air conditioning, go all that stuff. There's actually a Pell Grant being offered for trade school. So that's air conditioning, plumbing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't understand. If you want to go, you should definitely look into that provision. It's HR 6585. You should definitely look into that if you want to go to a trade school and basically have it covered. Now, I'm going to skip down here to Pell Grants since I talked about Pell Grants because you have people. Oh my God, we're going to lose the Pell Grant. The Pell Grant's going away. I could have had no money. You're not losing your Pell Grant, okay? It's not being cut. Now, I remember because I used to get a Pell Grant when I was in college. And like, say school was like $3,000, right? And you got a Pell Grant for $7,000. Oh, okay. So what happens to that extra money? You get a check for the difference. You would get a check. Now, there was no limits on the check. You just got the check and you could do whatever you want with the money. The jig is up. The jig is up. It's over. It's done. No more eating on your Pell Grant money. So what happens is the extra money, you're not getting the extra money because that extra money, that extra $4,000 that I brought up in the hypothetical, that could go to another student. instead of you going to go buy, some fresh Jordans or something. Right. Instead you buy your new entertainment center, a new. We were reckless with those Pell checks, bro. And of course, then I didn't know any better. I didn't have an understanding of government and where the money came from. All I knew is that it was an extra couple $1,000, and I was grateful for it. But I get it. No, it should have never happened. This should have never been a thing. Who said this was a good idea to give the extra Pell money to students and just let them do whatever they want? Like that was the most ridiculous thing you could have ever done. I don't get it. But no more. So that's all that is. And so we'll just keep going with the college stuff since we're still here. And then so there's also the myth that college graduates, college students are getting no money. They're cut off. They're going to be destitute, unable to achieve their collegiate dreams. Bullshit. It limits a graduate students that they can borrow up to $20,500, and professional students can borrow up to $50K. If you need extra money, go take out private loans. But I think also this helps with the understanding of debt, right? So when you're taking on a tremendous amount of debt, do you have to go to NYU for your doctorate? Do you have to go to Harvard? Right? Do you have to go to these falutin schools to pay for your higher education? Because you're just paying for a title. That's like paying to live in a condominium in Tribeca in Manhattan, right? That it's no much. It's you have some amenities and it's a cool loft, but you're just paying for location. So instead of trying to get your highfalutin degree at there, go get it at a lesser not a lesser college, but a college that don't cost as much. But nobody want to hear me. Nobody want to hear me. So let's talk about the air traffic controller. So it's been an overhaul of the air traffic controller program, a profession period, right? People, oh my God. So there's 12.5 billion that's going to be invested into the air traffic controller program. Basically, it's streamlining the program, right? So you don't have a bunch of incompetent people. It's literally just making the skies better for Americans. So this whole notion that planes just started falling out of the sky after Donald Trump was elected, like he literally made such radical changes within 2 minutes. Like, shut up, people. Y'all are annoying. Here's another great thing for working class Americans. American credit unions. No new tax added on 142 million members of American credit unions. How is that bad? How's that bad for you? How is that supporting the rich? That's more money in your pocket, bro. That's more financial freedom. That's the ultimate goal. You want financial freedom. You don't be bound in this cycle of taxation with no representation. You have money being wielded and dealed and abused, and you watch your politicians get richer before your eyes, and you're not asking questions. Oh my gosh. There's a reconciliation package for American farmers. You remember we're hurting the farmers because Juan can't pick the strawberries no more. That's going to actually help. School choice. This is probably one of my favorite parts. I wish I had school choice when I was in school. I wish I had school choice, Going to a shitty ass zone school because I didn't get accepted into any of the high schools of my choice was annoying. And I always felt like I was being robbed. But federal funding for private school tuition, tutoring, and other expenses. Tax credits to donors who give to scholarship organizations. So people with privilege, people who have the means to pay for a few more other people to go to school and get a great education can pay into these scholarship programs and then write it off. That's called a win-win. I don't understand this concept that rich people are just supposed to bleed money. They're just supposed to bleed and bleed and bleed and bleed, and then they're supposed to get anything out of the deal. I don't get that. I never got that concept. So what is the point of wanting to be successful and move up tax brackets if you're just going to keep getting trimmed and trimmed and trimmed? You're basically still fighting for survival as you climb the ladder. So why? What's the point? What's the freaking point? I mean, a person of privilege and means puts up the money for someone who doesn't have the bread to pay for their tuition, and return is a tax break. I mean, how does that not incentivizing all Americans? That's literally how you achieve the American dream. 100% expensing for new domestic factories. More American jobs are coming our way, people. Because remember, China said we can't do anything, although we did everything before we were sold out by our politicians. Yeah, before we got sold out, and all our jobs ended up in Bangladesh and China and Indonesia. Nobody want to have that conversation, but nobody likes change, because how they did that to us, they did it very slow. It's very methodic, right? It wasn't like a shock to the system. What Donald Trump is doing is a shock to the system. And the reason why it's a shock to the system, because he only has 4 years. And technically he has 3 years, because you spend that last year trying to campaign for the person in your party to get reelected or get the next up in line elected. So he doesn't have a lot of time. But you know how we could solve that problem, everybody? We could repeal the 22nd Amendment of the United States. FDR was stupid for running for a 4th term and then dying months within his damn 4th term. But anyway, based on our checks and balances system, we will never have a Hitler. We will never have a Mussolini. So stop the drama. The drama. Just stop it. Just stop it, everybody. Where are we? And so for me, when I was the stuff that I've read and the stuff that I've comprehended, this is a rewiring of poor mentality, of poor victimhood mentality. This is truly getting us back on track to achieving the actual American dream. You can't achieve the American dream if you are in cycles of paying bills and you're spending 40, 50 hours a week at a job just to cover your basic necessities. That's crazy. How does that incentivize you in any way? This bill enables you to thrive as opposed to enabling laziness. We've become lazy, America. We think we're entitled to these social programs. No, you have to earn them. And then if you're able-bodied and can still contribute to the workforce, why is it so hard to ask you for 20 hours of your week? What the hell are you doing that you so big, you so booked and blessed? What are you doing you so booked and blessed? Woo, y'all tried me. But I'ma just oh, Claude, we have it. Oh, that's great. So hopefully I covered enough for y'all to understand and talk to the people and let them know that this isn't a bad thing. The one big beautiful bill is not the boogeyman. It's not the reincarnate of hell freezing. Yeah. So it's actually a good thing. It's a great thing for America. It's a great thing for the American worker. It's a great thing for the American taxpayer. This is what America first looks like. Yeah. Like you're working hard for nothing. You're working hard to buy cereal. No, that should be the easiest thing. You should be able to purchase cereal in your sleep. Why are you working hard to feed yourself? Like you should be working hard to build a life, to build a business, to build a career, to build a legacy. But you don't have the time. You don't have the time. You're exhausted. You are exhausted. Your mind is spinning 500 ways. And then sometimes you got to pick up an extra job or extra shifts just to cover your basic necessities. That's not living, that's existing. But anyway, I hope my rant went well for y'all. And so, what happened on this day in American history?
So, what happened on this day in American history?
In 1898, the United States annexed Hawaii by joint resolution of Congress signed by President William McKinley, setting the stage for Hawaii to become a U.S. territory in 1900 and eventually the 50th state in 1959. In 1930, construction began on the Hoover Dam, one of the largest public works projects in U.S. history, which would later transform the America Southwest economy and landscape. In 1981, President Ronald Reagan nominated Sandra Day O'Connor to the U.S. Supreme Court. She would go on to become the first woman to serve as a Supreme Court Justice. In 1991, the very first episode of Nickelodeon's game Nick Arcade began filming on July 7th, introducing kids to live-action video game challenges that became a 90s classic. And in 2011, pop star Beyoncé released her Best Thing I Never Had music video, quickly racking up millions of views and becoming one of the biggest songs of the summer of 2011. Why do we care here? I don't know. I was just told to read it. Now, are we ready for an uncomfortable conversation? Rant Summer is here. Head on over to AJsRANTroom.com. We got all of your summer needs covered. From bathing suits to swim trunks, flip-flops and tote bags, towels, tanks, and muscle shirts. Oh, and you can't forget about the visors and the hats. It's lit. So head on over to AJsRANTroom.com and get your summer poppin'. You won't be disappointed.
All right, so let's talk about it. Prayers to folks in Central Texas, going through it right now. We have at least 95 people dead. Dozens of others are missing after these flash floods ravaged the state over the 4th of July weekend. Across the state, rescuers continue their efforts to search for the dozens of still missing, including 10 campers and one counselor at an all-girls camp located along the Guadalupe River near San Antonio, which rose more than 20 feet in less than 2 hours. Camp Mystic confirmed that 27 campers and counselors died during the weekend flood. Parts of Central Texas are bracing for another localized flash flood threat caused by slow-moving thunderstorms in the flood-ravaged area, according to weather officials. The storms could produce another 2 to 4 inches of rain, which with an isolated total of up to 10 inches, according to the National Weather Service Austin San Antonio office. Nearly 5 million people, including those in the disaster areas, are under a flood watch and has been until 7 p.m. local time. Now, this all sounds tragic, right? And one would think that this will be a time for us to put our political differences aside, our radical ideologies aside, and come together, right? Rally together. But no. There's a list of bonehead celebrities and politicians, mostly on the left, who found a way to blame Donald Trump. Because, of course, these natural disasters would have never happened under Kamala Harris. Stop the clouds! I'm Kamala! And then we have this one TikTok creator who FAFO'd. and decided that she wanted to produce some commentary that nobody was thinking about in this moment except her. And take a look.
There's people in it. Oh my God, there's so many people in it.
I know I'm probably going to get canceled for this, but Camp Mystic is a whites-only girls' Christian camp. They don't even have a token Asian. They don't have a token black person. It is a all-white, white-only, conservative Christian camp. If you ain't white, you ain't right, you ain't getting in, you ain't going, period. And I think that context needs to be said in this matter. It's not to say that we don't want the girls to be found, whatever girls that are missing or whatever right now, but you best believe, especially in today's political climate, if this were a group of Hispanic girls, especially with them being in East Texas, it should be most likely Hispanic. If this were a group of Hispanic girls out there, this would not be getting this type of coverage that they're getting. No one would give a fuck. And all these white people, the parents of these little girls, would be saying things like they need to be deported. They shouldn't have been here in the first place.
Hey, look at you picking up on my football. So she FAFO'd. She said all of this with her whole chest. How long was that video? Like 5 minutes? She said it with her whole chest for 5 minutes. She made this about race. She made this about Hispanic. She made this about white people, whites only. She's on the website. Now, if she was really smart, she would have gone on the website and said, hey, I'm going to show you on the website where it says whites only. It doesn't say anything about whites only. I mean, here's the thing. You whores don't want your kids at a Christian camp anyway. You want Pookie and Rakeem to be on the concrete with the rest of the hood rats. So why are y'all even bothered? And I don't even care if they even put it on the website that it was all white. Who cares? Y'all got nigger camps all over this country. Nigger camp, nigger cat, nigger cat, nigger camp. And ain't nobody coming and saying, oh, well, we need to put a white person in here. Nobody cares. Millions of kids are going to summer camp this summer. Who cares? So she FAFO'd, and she damn sure found out. Houston mayor criticizes former member of city's food insecurity board over racial comments about Camp Mystic. Now, I didn't even know this woman served until it was sent to me last night. Then I had to go look for myself. Houston Mayor John Whitmer said he is working to permanently remove a former member of the city's food insecurity board after she made racially charged comments about Camp Mystic, a Christian all-girls camp in Kerr County that has been particularly devastated by the flooding in the central Texas Hill Country. I wish I had applause in my board, but I'll applaud. Everybody clap along. Everybody clap your hands. The nearly century-old camp along the Guadalupe River announced Monday that 27 of its campers and counselors had died in Friday's floods, while others remain missing. Among those unaccounted for, 2 elementary school students from Houston. Sade, however you say her name, Perkins, the former member of Houston's Food Insecurity Board, referred to Camp Mystic as a whites-only enclave in a widely circulated TikTok video over the weekend. I know I'm probably going to get canceled for this, but Camp Mystic is a white-only, whatever. Whitmer said in a statement Sunday she has no plans to reappoint. AKA, you got fired. Whose term on the board expired in January, and that the city is taking immediate steps to remove her permanently from the board. She was appointed to the board in October 2023 by former Mayor Sylvester Turner. Good. I hope they permanently get your ass out of there, because making these statements stupid. If you politicize and racialize every damn instance, every natural disaster, every tragic, like a mass shooting or whatever, you're a bonehead. You're part of the dumb percent. And I don't give a damn if you're MAGA. I don't give a damn if you're liberal. I don't give a damn if you're conservative. I don't care what you identify as. What I care about is, do you have a level of humanity? Do you know when to shut the fuck up? Huh? Do you know when to shut up? Zip it. Do you know when to do that? That's the bigger point here, right? There comes a time where you have to shut up and just be human beings. We could fight all day about politics and who likes this and who likes that and what you know. I don't care. If you're drowning in the river and I can help you, I will help you. I don't give a damn who you voted for. I don't give a damn what color you are. If you're hungry and I can feed you, I don't give a damn who you voted for. I don't give a damn what your political view is. I don't care. Do good or just shut up. And so when it comes to blaming Donald Trump for this, was it the cuts to the National Weather Service that prompted a storm to linger over central Texas and do what it did? What, was that the reason? Because according to Tom Fay, legislative director of the National Weather Service Employees Organization, he told ABC News that the weather forecasting offices were adequately staffed and they issued timely forecast and warnings leading up to the storm. But he added that unfilled leadership positions were clearly a concern. No, that's y'all issue. Fill the positions. What's taking so long? Quote, all I say is this. The National Weather Service issued a flash flood watch for Kerr County more than 12 hours ahead of the catastrophic flood. A flash flood warning issued for Hunt and Ingram 3 hours before the Guadalupe River started to climb. They did their job and they did it well. The same sentiment has been echoed by meteorologists and experts all over. I know y'all are mad that Kamala Harris didn't win. I know y'all are mad that Donald Trump is really enacting what he said he would do. But you got to know when to be a damn human being. Full stop. You got to know when to shut the hell up and just help where you can. What was the point of this Mooley going on this website and making those stupid statements? What was the point? Then to come to find out you're in the political arena. So now you've basically made yourself unelectable for years to come, probably forever. Because this video will haunt you forever. The internet's forever. Whether you take it down or not, the internet's for somebody saved it. Somebody saved the video. And if she's married to a white man, I don't know who she's married to, but the comments are saying she's married to a white man. If she's married to a white man, this would be, I'm going to just leave it alone. Prayers to everyone in Central Texas. If you can help, oh God. This is our Turntable Rewind. baby, baby. Right. So the year is 2010. And these are the top 10 songs on the Billboard Hot 100. Coming in at number 10, You Gotta Break Your Heart. Coming in at number 10, You Gotta Break Your Heart by Tayo Cruz. Did I say his name right? Did I say his name? Okay. Tayo Cruz featuring Ludacris. Coming through at number 9 is Jason Derulo with Riding Solo. Clearly, I don't know that song. Chipping in at number 8 is Cooler Than Me by Mike Posner. Do you know that song, Claude? Oh, I don't know that song either. Coming in at number 7 is Alejandro by Lady Gaga. I never liked that song. I don't like a lot of Lady Gaga songs. What Lady Gaga songs do I like? Oh, I know what song I like. I like all your love and I want your revenge. You and me could write a bad romance. I don't like Paparazzi, Claude. Bad Romance is the only song I like by her. Because visually, as an artist, that is her magnum opus music video. Like if someone said, what's a Lady Gaga video I should ever watch, it's Bad Romance. That is the chef's kiss. Choreography, concept, visuals. It's just that was it. I don't know about none of the stuff she's doing now. I don't know about none of that. But I know Bad Romance is the joint. Anyway, but Bad Romance is not on this countdown. Let's keep moving. Coming in at number 6 is Dynamite by Tayo Cruz. In at number 5 is Billionaire by Travis McCoy featuring Bruno Mars. Dropping in at number 4 is Airplanes by B.O.B. featuring Haley Williams. Coming in at number 3 is You Lost the Battle by Usher featuring will.i.am. Dropping in at number 2 is Love the Way You Lie by Eminem featuring Rihanna. And coming in at number 1 is Katy Perry in her prime featuring Snoop Dogg with California Girls. Do I know that song? I might. I'd have to hear it. The number 1 album in the country on this day in the year 2010 was Eminem's Recovery, marking a dramatic return after his 2009 album Relapse. Unlike its predecessor, Recovery showcased a raw, introspective Eminem confronting personal struggles, addiction, and his journey towards sobriety. The album featured high-profile collaborations with artists like Rihanna, Pink, Lil Wayne, blending confessional lyrics with arena-ready beats. Fueled by singles such as Not Afraid and the chart-topping Love the Way You Lie, Recovery debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 albums chart and received widespread critical acclaim for its honesty and emotional depth, solidifying Eminem's comeback as one of the most successful in music. Now, the number 1 movie in America released June 30th, 2010 is the Twilight Saga Eclipse. Do I have to say it? I didn't see this. I've seen none of these movies. I've seen none of these number 1 movies. Every week we do a number 1 movie. I'm like, I didn't see it. Where was I? I don't know. What movie was out in 2010? Because I didn't see this one. Anyway, marked the 3rd installment of the blockbuster vampire romance series based on Stephenie Meyer's novels. Directed by David Slade, the film continued the intense love triangle between Bella, Edward, and Jacob, while introducing a darker storyline featuring an army of newborn vampires. Eclipse shattered midnight screening records with over $30 million in ticket sales and earned more than $175 million domestically in its first week. Its massive success cemented the Twilight franchise as a pop culture phenomenon, fueling Twilight mania worldwide and proving the enduring power of YA adaptations at the box office. All right. That was great. Hold on, don't collapse that yet, Prince. All right. Shout out to the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne. We could collapse it now, Prince. There we go. Shout out to the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne, who played his final concert over the weekend in England. It was I got a little verklempt. You know, it's hard to see all these legends, you know, getting older and becoming frail, and you know, he's suffering from Parkinson's and he couldn't stand, so they built a throne, which was a genius move to build a throne instead of rolling him out there in a wheelchair or something. They built a beautiful throne, and he sat there and still commanded the stage. That's how you know you're gifted, when you could stand there, command a stage from a throne. You never had to move around. You didn't have to jump around. You do too much. When he sang "Mama, I'm coming home," I got a little for clam. But anyway, Ozzy Osbourne gives earth-shaking farewell at Black Sabbath's Back to the Beginning. Wait, y'all gonna make me buy a subscription? Y'all gonna make me log in? Well, we ain't reading it. All right, cool. Ozzy Osbourne has sold over 100 million albums, including his solo work and Black Sabbath releases. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of Black Sabbath in 2006 and as a solo artist in 2024. He was also inducted into the UK Music Hall of Fame, both solo and with Black Sabbath in 2005. He's been honored with stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and Birmingham Walk of Stars. At the 2014 MTV Europe Music Award, he received the Global Icon Award. In 2015, he received the Ivor Novello Award for Lifetime Achievement from the British Academy of Songwriters, Composers, and Authors. And if my good friend Noel is still here, so there was this song that we performed. There was a Black Sabbath song that we had done early on in the dance company, and I could not remember that song for the life of me. And eventually we figured out that it wasn't Black Sabbath. It was a remake of the song Black Sabbath by Type O Negative, which was pretty dope, you know. So, but we figured it out. But enjoy retirement. Enjoy the fourth quarter of your life, Ozzy Osbourne. Don't be rolling out of here too soon, though. We can't get no more bad news this year. Yeah, there's something about Ozzy Osbourne that's just very likable. Like, he's very likable. Like, he could literally bite the head off a bat, so you still like him, right? No, it was the song Black Sabbath, Jay Lee. Literally the song Black Sabbath. And so he himself and his demons were on display. Oh yeah, for sure. And now it's time for an AJ throwback. Thought I'd give y'all a little tit-tay today. This was my homage to I don't know, Janet Jackson. That's a nipple, because I'm drooling. care. So this was part of the promo shoot that we did for my dance company's final concert. So this was one of the looks from that shoot. It was a fun shoot. It was great. I missed that. I don't know if y'all see under the shirt, there's like a black sharp thing at the bottom. I missed that. It was how do you say, Swarovski crystal. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful black Swarovski crystal. I loved it. I don't know what happened to it. I lost it somewhere. I lost it probably in transit to California. I don't know. I probably lost it in California. I don't know. But I loved it. I like the look. Okay. So I don't know. This is meet my nipple. And it wasn't pierced. So this is before I got it pierced for the 5th time. So I got my nipples pierced 5 times. Fun fact. And I can't get them done anymore because I have too much scar tissue. I don't think I'm gonna ever show y'all the net shirt. That might be a little too zesty for me to be sharing. I don't know if y'all ever gonna get that one. I don't know, man. Maybe one day. No time soon, though. No time soon. No, don't rush me. Don't rush me. But wait, what's going on here? There we go. Apologies, y'all. We're having a little technical moment. Can y'all hear me? Yes. Okay, cool. Where did it go? Where did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go? It might have been Lee. It might have been on Trifecta. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But man, leave me alone.
Don't just leave me alone.
Why do we give 1 day to veterans of world wars and a month to gay people, for example? No harm intended on Mr. Barr here. I'm sure he'll be responding in kind to. But I have no issue with James and his sexuality. Why do I have to celebrate it for a month?
I should say no issue with yours, Piers.
But
I would rather you didn't ram it down my throat all the time.
There's no danger of that happening.
I ain't been this ripped in a long time. I'm taking. He just said,
I just
This interview is over.
No. I was just trying to reaffirm.
What's your wife's name? Frank?
Got him! Got him!
Oh my God!
Nice!
All good. You all good? All good. A little shoulder. I think I dislocated my shoulder or something. But I'm okay.
They, them, energy.
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 Girl, shut the fuck up. You about to hate that?
आज चड्डी नहीं पहने हो ना, सब पता चल रहा है. आज चड्डी नहीं पहने हो ना, सब पता चल रहा है.
Wait, we got one more.
You really about to do it?
40 acres in the mule, this is bigger than the music.
You really about to do it?
Yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence.
They get on it like that.
Hey, I'm tripping, I'm sliding, I'm
Do you guys agree that this is the ideal bikini body? Duh.
Deaconess Keisha, you got one more time to be waiting on my husband after service. Next time, an ambulance gonna be waiting on you, and your family gonna get that call.
Nice.
Cuerpo, sara mo na yan!
Stop moving. Hold it up, hold it up, hold it up. Legend, come here. Come
Oh my God. Oh my God. Now, one would think that she would have dropped the phone, right? And ran inside the house before the boy started firing off the firecrackers. Where do you find these people? The priority is not capturing this moment. That's over. You have to now stop people from getting hurt or him hurting himself. Well, let's start with this. Why the hell are you allowing a kid to hold a live firework? Let's start with that. Anyway, and yes, the boy's name was Legend. Oh, now let's land at our inspiration point.
I used to be homeless. I used to sleep in alleys. In the wintertime, I was sleeping on church stairs. I shoplifted from stores so that I could have something to eat that day. I was declined day after day from shelters on a waiting list because I didn't have a child, so I wasn't priority. I didn't have warm clothes, and living in New Jersey, it was so cold, it was snowing outside, and I was literally wrapped in a blanket, sleeping in the snow. Many nights I thought I wasn't gonna wake up the next morning, but I still got up the next day and I hustled and I went to the library. I picked up change off the ground so that I could be able to print out resumes and make me a resume. I went to the welfare office when I got my food stamps. They used to have a program where they would help you find a job, so that way you don't have to stay on government assistance. I don't know what's required of it now because I haven't had food stamps in many years. But at the time, that's what the requirement was. You had to try to get a job. I took advantage of every resource that I could find. I sat down with the welfare caseworker and I begged her to help me find anything that could help me get out of my situation. She sent me to work centers that would help with building my resume, and they would sit down and help me with interview skills. And every day I went to an interview. I spent my days sitting at the library and going to interviews. I started off with a few shitty jobs, worked my way up in those jobs, built my resume, and then started getting better jobs for myself. The point of me telling you all of this is because I am so fucking sick of people getting on the internet and talking about how desperately they need Medicaid and food stamps while they are able-bodied adults who can get the fuck up and get it for themselves. I was getting $7 an hour working at Payless, and I saved up every dollar so that I could afford me a down payment on an apartment in New Jersey. And I was 19, 20 years old at the time. Yeah, going through it. I struggled so hard every day that I was able to say this. I looked at myself and I said, when I get out of this situation, I will never go back. I'm just so sick of the excuses. Grown ass people getting on this app to talk and show how fucking lazy they are. And how greedy they are and how entitled they are. That you feel every other American who is working really fucking hard to pay taxes and make a living for themselves should be funding your free life. No fucking way. I never wanted a handout from anybody. I worked so fucking hard to get where I am. I worked so fucking hard to never be homeless again. I remember at 20 years old, I walked into the mayor's office in New Jersey and I said, hey, I can't get into a shelter. Please help me. And the lady, the secretary, sat down with me and wrote me a letter to get me into an apartment because nobody would accept me. They had a program in New Jersey where you could get a one-time payment for I think it was $1,300 to get a down payment for an apartment, and I kept getting denied. I went everywhere, and I went back to that place almost every other week to keep begging them to give me this deposit. Now, I saved up majority of my deposit, and they basically just matched me. But that lady got me that deposit because I was so persistent. Y'all are just so fucking lazy. I'm tired of it. Shut up.
And there you have it. I don't even have to say anything. She laid it all out there for you. It ain't what you go through, is what you do with it. We all go through things in life. We all have setbacks. We all have moments where it sucks. Where you want to punch everybody in the face. Hell, where you even want to take yourself out. But rely on your faith, people, because that's the only thing you have sometimes. But this entitlement, you're not entitled to Medicaid. You're not entitled to food stamps. You're not entitled to the projects. You're not entitled to all of these government subsidies. And y'all have mistaken what Donald Trump is doing. Y'all have mistaken enabling, y'all encouraging you for oppression. You're not oppressed. You're actually being freed if you actually look at it. The government is not your friend. The government's job is not to provide you with the basics. That's your responsibility. So if that woman could come up through the drugs, the mud, and make it happen, why can't you? Life is hard. Get a helmet. That's one good thing Candace Owens said. Get a helmet and make it happen. Other than that, I don't know what else to tell you. Shout out to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for always holding it down. Appreciate it. Love you forever. Shout out to my producer, Claude Banks, for holding me down tonight. Thank you so much, even though Apple glitched and remixed and twerked her way on into oblivion. Shout out to the Rant fam. Thank y'all so much for supporting the situation. You could support the channel by going to AJsRANTroom.com. You could also support by sharing, comment, subscribing, hitting that notification bell so that you get an alert every time we upload, go live, etc., etc. Shout out to my Trifecta Hour fam. Yes, Trifecta Hour is back this Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will be in the joint, and we'll be talking about all things pop culture, politics, and fun. Hope to see you there. That is Friday, 8 p.m. To some of you, this might be just another podcast, but to me, this is the next chapter in purpose, and I thank you for lending me some of your time. You could be anywhere in the world right now, but you chose to give me a few moments of your day, and for that, I'm grateful. And with that said, I'm out.